I'd like to call this September 17th board meeting to order. It is at 5 o'clock, and as we do with every meeting, let us stand. My flag is right over here. I'm going to pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you, Matt Sabatello, for putting the American flag on the screen.
Love that.
Yep. At this moment in time, and please don't, we can sit. We have a moment of silence, and I'd like to thank all of our firefighters, our ambulance volunteers, our nurses, everyone that is in this battle together. I know if we watch TV, we think we're a divided nation, but if you go and talk to people, we're very united in helping one another. So let's offer a thanks to everyone that is pulling for our nation to get through this pandemic. And for those that are afflicted by it, that they get better and we come out of this stronger, better, united. Thank you very much. We'll do a roll call at this point.
Councilwoman Cartwright,
Present.
Councilwoman Bonner,
Here.
Councilman Lavelle,
Present.
Councilman Legurchia,
Present.
Councilman Foley,
Here.
Councilman Panico,
Here.
Supervisor Romaine.
Present.
You have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. We have a report to the board from the town clerk.
Yes. I have a report of revenue for the town clerk's office for the month of August in the amount of $53,084.75. May I have a motion to accept report item 1?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, then we have communications consensus agenda, and I believe we have 7 items on that.
Yes, may I have a motion to accept the communication consensus agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then we have the highway consensus agenda with 4 items.
Yes, may I have a motion to accept the 4 highway consensus agenda items?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then we have the consensus resolution agenda.
Mr. Supervisor, I'll make a motion to approve resolutions C-0290 to C-0323. So moved.
Second.
Kimberly?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, and then we go on to the resolution agenda. And I will start with Dan Panico, first resolution.
We will.
Starting at 487.
The first one I have is.
The first one is mine, I believe.
Yes, Councilwoman Cartwright.
Okay. Resolution 487 of 2020, the appointment of Councilman Michael A. Legurchio Jr. as a marriage officer. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Motion
Mike,
carries.
is this become a side business for you?
Well, you know what's happening, Danny? All the guys in the firehouse are getting married, so they asked me to perform the ceremony. So I'm pretty honored to do that.
This
is never
Good
to
for
Mike.
you.
It's a true
Thank you.
honor,
The
you know.
one-day period for October 10th.
There we go. Okay, Dan, you have the next one, please.
No, I have the next one, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry, you do. I'm sorry.
No problem, Supervisor. Resolution 488 of 2020, supporting Brookhaven Goes Purple during the month of September, recognizing and raising awareness of substance abuse disorder and celebrating those in recovery. So moved.
Councilwoman, can I be a co-sponsor on that and I'll second?
Absolutely.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, yes.
Resolution 0489 of 2020, granting permission to the Farmingdale Hills Chamber of Commerce to hang Christmas lights and garland on approximately 70 lampposts along Horse Block Road in Farmingville, New York. So moved.
I'll second that. Very nice.
Second it. That's a combination on
Go ahead.
everybody on that one.
I'm gonna pick one.
Give it to Kevin.
All right, Mr. Lavelle. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 0490 of 2020, award bid number 20048, parts and labor to repair lawn equipment to the lowest responsible bidders, Store Tractor Company and Northeast Equipment, Inc. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 0491 of 2020, award bid number 20043, on-call leachate system maintenance contract to the lowest responsible bidder, Tully Environmental, Inc. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 0492 of 2020, authorizing the change order number 4 to contract number 201-90023, cell 6, phase 11, 12, and 13. So moved.
Second.
Second. Mr. Lugercio?
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 0493 is an authorization for assignment and assumption agreement of Town of Brookhaven, contract number 201700085, fire and intrusion alarm testing, repair, and maintenance from Worldwide Security Group LLC to Briscoe Protective LLC. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 494 of 2020, authorize the assignment of the AE Town Hall Solar to LLC membership in Turnus to CVI Renewables Holding LLC.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
495 of 20 is determination of the premises at 6 Bernie Boulevard, Mastic, New York, 11950, to be unsafe as defined by Chapter 73 pursuant to the engineer's report of Cashin, Spinelli, and Ferretti LLC, and setting a public hearing by which the owner or other persons having an interest in the premises may be heard with respect to the condition of the premises and the actions necessary to secure or remove same. So moved.
Second.
That public hearing will be held October 22nd, 2020 at 5:30 PM. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
496 of 20 is award of bid number 20038 entitled Repair and Maintenance of Transmissions on Town Vehicles to the lowest responsible bidder, T&T Baldwin Automotive Incorporated. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
497 of 20 is authorizing declaration of decommissioned vehicles and equipment as surplus to be sold at town auction. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 498 of 2020 is to set a public hearing on the application 7-Eleven convenience store with gas for a change of zone from L Industrial 1 to J Business 5. Special permit for a motor vehicle fueling station, special permit for a convenience store accessory to a motor vehicle fueling station, and what is a special permit criteria on property located on Faber Drive in Bellport, New York. So moved.
Second.
That public hearing will be held October 22nd, 2020 at 5:30 PM. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 499 of 2020, declaring the week of October 23rd to the 31st, 2020 to be Red Ribbon Week as a symbol of drug education and awareness. So moved.
Second.
Mike, can I co-sponsor that?
Certainly.
As well as myself.
Yeah, I'd like to be on
Why
that.
don't we all co-sponsor that?
Absolutely.
Sure.
That's good.
Having been moved and seconded by Councilman Foley, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
500 of 2020 is authorizing the acquisition of property for open space in partnership with the County of Suffolk located in the Pine Barrens Core Lands at Manorville. The owner is Joseph Frederick Gaza. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Could I ask at this moment in time that the town attorney do me a favor once this resolution is certified, that you send a copy to the executive director of the Pine Barrens Commission. Mr. Pavasek,
Yes, sir.
thank you. The reason why is this gentleman appeared before the Pine Barrens Commission yesterday and asked us to give him a hardship for these 70-plus acres that are in the core. Instead of that, I think the county is stepping up with the town to purchase these. So I just want to let the commission know, really, the hardship application should not be considered if we're actually moving ahead with acquisition.
Okay, Resolution 0501, 2020, determination of the premise at 48 Green Avenue, Padjoe, New York, 11772, to be unsafe as defined by Chapter 73 pursuant to the engineer's report of Cashin, Spinelli, and Ferretti, LLC, and setting a public hearing by which the owner or other persons having an interest in the premise may be heard with respect to the condition of the premise and actions necessary to secure or remove same. So moved.
Second?
Thank you. That public hearing will be held October 22nd, 2020 at 5:30 PM. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 0502 of 2020, authorization for the supervisor, deputy supervisor to execute an intermunicipal agreement with the town of Southampton for acceptance of construction and demolition debris, street sweepings, and dredge spoils. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 503 of 2020, setting a public hearing on the application of 706 Whiskey Road for a change of zone from A Residence 1 to J Business 4 on property located on Whiskey Road in Ridge, New York. So moved.
Second.
That public hearing will be held October 22nd, 2020 at 5:30 PM. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 504, setting a public hearing on the application of Center East Storage LLC for a change of zone from J Business 2 and A Residence 1 to L Industrial 1 and amendment of restrictive covenants on property located on Middle Country Road in Center East, New York. So moved.
Second?
That public hearing will be held October 22nd, 2020 at 5:30 PM. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
505 of 20 is authorizing a legal retainer agreement for the purpose of addressing legal questions and reviewing contracts for federal programs administered by the town of Brookhaven on behalf of the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, otherwise known as HUD. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 506 of 2020 authorized the Commissioner of Finance to amend the 2020 adopted capital budget to establish a new West Meadow Beach improvement project to be funded through budget neutral transfers. So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
507 of 20 is setting a public hearing to amend Chapter 5 entitled Appearance Tickets, Chapter 7 entitled Bidding Preferences, Chapter 8 entitled Bay and Harbor Bottoms, and Chapter 9 entitled Beaches of the Code of the Town of Brookhaven. So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Holly stepped away.
Second with the
Second.
supervisor.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That public hearing will be held October 22nd, 2020 at 5:30 PM.
508 of 20 is setting a public hearing to amend Chapter 85 entitled Zoning, Article 1 entitled General Provisions, Article 15 entitled Multifamily Residence Districts, and Article 26 entitled Plan Development District of the Code of the Town of Brookhaven. So moved.
Second.
That public hearing will be held October 22nd, 2020 at 5:30 PM. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
509 of 20 is authorizing an extension of the contract with Pembroke Occupational Health Incorporated to continue the town's drug and alcohol testing. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 0510 is to amend the 2020 adopted budget to abolish part-time positions. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution 0511 is 2020's various operating budget, capital budget transfers. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Valerie,
Number is this?
512.
512.
Okay. It's not coming up on mine. Just give me 1 second. My computer's.
I'll do
You
it
can
for
read
you.
it for me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's 512 of 20 is amending resolution 2019-0913 adopted December 5, 2020, establishing the town of Brookhaven's 2020 fee schedule for various departments. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Now, this ends our resolution agenda, and the next thing on we have no dates to set, no decisions pending. So the next thing on our agenda is public hearings, but they're scheduled to 5:30. We had the same problem last time. So we can't conduct any further business till 5:30. Right now, it's 5:16, so we're going to take a 14-minute break, and we're going to come back at 5:30 and do the public hearings. Unless anyone has any comments they want to make. Nope. Okay. Okay, it is 5:30 and we are back for public hearings. We have 5 public hearings today, and we will start with our town clerk, Donna Lent, who will open public hearing number 1. Donna, you have to unmute.
I can't start my video.
There we go.
Okay.
So public hearing number 1 is to consider the application known as L2G Holdings LLC for a change of zone from J Business 2 and L Industrial 1 to L Industrial 1 on property located in Medford, New York. Legal notices for public hearings are published no less than 10 days, no more than 20 days prior to a public hearing in one of the legal town newspapers, and my office has received a signed affidavit of publication from the newspaper. A secret negative determination will be submitted by the law department via resolution if applicable. And I am in receipt of a letter from Suffolk County Planning Commission determining it a matter of local determination. The applicant was required to post the property as well as notify all property owners within a 500-foot radius of the subject property, and my office is in receipt of the affidavits of mailing and posting. The letter from Suffolk County Planning is dated July 15, 2020. Dear Ms. Lent, pursuant to the requirements of sections A14-14 to A14-25 of the Suffolk County Administrative Code, the above referenced application, which has been submitted to the Suffolk County Planning Commission, is considered to be a matter for local determination, as there is no apparent significant countywide or intercommunity impact. A decision of local determination should not be construed as either an approval or disapproval. Signed, very truly yours, Andrew P. Freeland, Chief Planner.
Okay. And I believe, who is explaining this from, is that Beth Riley, our planning commissioner?
Yes. The site is located along the north side of Commercial Boulevard, 150 feet east of New York State Route 112 in Medford. The parcel is 2.109 acres and is currently occupied with 2 industrial-type warehouse buildings with associated site improvements. The site enjoys a certificate of occupancy and a certificate of compliance that were issued in 1969 and 1994, respectively. The site is currently split zoned J2 and L1 industrial, and the applicant seeks a change of zone to L1. The concept plan shows, the existing industrial buildings with updated site improvements, including lighting, paving, landscaping, and drainage system. The proposed change of zone will bring the site back into zoning compliance. The 1996 comprehensive plan designates the site for an industrial land use.
Okay. Any questions from the board? No questions? Do we have any speakers on this? No speakers?
Just checking. Let me just check, Mr. Supervisor.
Sure.
And can I just please make an announcement that the people in the chat were asking if there's anybody who wishes to speak and they're not responding to our monitors. So please in the chat. Tim Shea is the speaker on this application.
Okay. Let's hear from Mr. Shea then. Mr. Shea, you're on.
Okay, I had to unmute. Good afternoon or good evening, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board, J. Timothy Shea Jr., Sir Tillman Ballin, 100 Motor Parkway, Hauppauge, New York, for the applicant. Ms. Riley gave a very good description of the site. The application is to rezone on the site plan, the left-hand side of the site with existing building A, which is currently zone J2, although it was CO'd for a public garage. The intent is to make the zoning compliant with future tenant uses for warehouse and or manufacturing, light manufacturing at that. We have seen the proposed conditions of approval and agree with the same. And I'm happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Board have any questions for Mr. Shea? No questions. Thank you, Mr. Shea. Councilman Legorcio, do you have a motion?
I move to close public hearing number 1, Supervisor.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to close carries.
Secret negative declaration granting the application of L2G Holdings LLC for a change of zone from L Industrial 1 and J Business 2 to L Industrial 1 on property located on Commercial Boulevard, Medford, New York. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Resolution of adoption granting the application of L2G Holdings LLC for a change of zone from L Industrial 1 and J Business 2 to L Industrial 1 on property located on Commercial Boulevard, Medford, New York. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you very much. And we'll move on to public hearing number 2.
Public hearing number 2 is to consider the application known as Westfield Center for a change of zone from J Business 2 and A Residence 1 to J Business 2 on property located in Selden, New York. Legal notices for public hearings are published no less than 10 days, no more than 20 days prior to a public hearing in one of the legal town newspapers. My office has received a signed affidavit of publication from the newspaper. A secret negative determination will be submitted by the law department via resolution if applicable. I am in receipt of a letter from Suffolk County Planning Commission determining it to be a matter of local determination, and the applicant was required to post the property as well as notify all property owners within a 500-foot radius of the subject property. Sorry. And my office is in receipt of the affidavits of mailing and posting. The letter from Suffolk County Planning is dated February 10th, 2020. It reads, "Dear Ms. Lamb, pursuant to the requirements of sections A14-14 to A14-25 of the Suffolk County Administrative Code, the above referenced application, which has been submitted to the Suffolk County Planning Commission, is considered to be a matter of local determination, as there is no apparent significant countywide or intercommunity impact. A decision of local determination should not be construed as either an approval or disapproval. Signed, very truly yours, Andrew P. Freeling, Chief Planner."
Thank you. And we will have our planning commissioner speak a little bit about this application.
The site is located on the southeast corner of Middle Country Road, New York State Route 25, and Blue Point Road in Selden. The subject parcel is a total of 7.44 acres and is currently occupied with an existing commercial center, approximately 52,400 square feet, with associated site improvements. This site includes certificates of occupancy that date back to 1972. The site is currently split zoned J2 and A1. The applicant seeks a change of zone to J2. The concept plan shows the addition of a new 1,914 square foot, 16-seat major restaurant with drive-through, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a 4,000 square foot, 62-seat restaurant with associated site improvements to the commercial center. Special permits are required from the planning board at the time of site plan review. Variances may also be required at the time of site plan. The 1996 comprehensive plan designates the site as a commercial land use.
Okay, any questions from board members? Questions? Who is representing the applicant tonight?
Representing the applicant is Anthony Guardino, Carrie and Valentin Stoller, John Harder, and there are no public that wish to speak on this.
Okay, does the applicant wish to speak?
Yes. Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hi, Anthony Guardino, law firm of Farrell Fritz, 100 Motor Parkway, Hopwood, New York, representing the property owner, Blue Point Associates. Ms. Riley, Commissioner Riley, just gave a very thorough overview of the property, so I'm not going to talk about that. I do just want to point out for the board that this shopping center, which you're probably familiar with, has been struggling and right now is about 36% vacant. Historically, the center, although you wouldn't have known it by just looking at it, it really didn't have much frontage because the frontage was actually owned by the Department of Transportation, which owned about 2.5 acres on both sides of the main access driveway. And that property was zoned A1. When the property was offered for sale, my client really had no choice but to buy it. Otherwise, they would have been faced with the possibility of somebody else developing in front of them, further obscuring the shopping center and contributing to its decline. Fortunately, it was able to purchase the property, but it significantly overpaid. The change of zone that's before you is really just very simply to unify the zoning of the parcel and to allow the proposed restaurant pad sites, which we think will be a tremendous shot in the arm for the shopping center. In this world of this pandemic, restaurants with drive-throughs are really one of the few businesses that are actually expanding because people, their customers they feel confident and they feel safe when they go to a drive-through. They find that they're convenient with very few touch points. So the drive-through has become very important. One of the big things I really just want to point out before I conclude is that I know it's very important to the board to know what the applicant has done, the communications it had with the Civic Association. We actually had 2 meetings with the Selden Civic Association to discuss the 2 restaurant pads, one on April 5th, 2019 with the executive committee, and then another meeting with the full membership, the general membership on April 25th of 2019. A representative of Councilman Laval's office was at both of those meetings. The association members were very enthusiastic about the restaurant pads and the potential tenants that they might bring. They did not believe that the pads would generate any traffic congestion on the surrounding roadways because they noted correctly that there were actually, the center is served by 2 traffic signals, one at the main entrance and then another one at Blue Point Road. And the civics also responded enthusiastically to the significant landscaping that my client is proposing in the front of the shopping center. And we showed them some pictures of representative landscaping from other Stoller Associates shopping centers, and they were very excited and happy to see that and look forward to seeing that. That's basically the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Any questions?
I'll just mention, this site has been struggling for some years, and I know property owner coming and buying this particular parcel, this could add some life back to this parcel right there. I know this is an area we talked extensively about with Anthony and with Carrie about, making sure the landscaping looks good. We're trying to avoid on Middle Country Road a lot of this going from Middle Country Road to the sidewalk to more pavement. So, when we went over this plan with the Civic and with everybody involved, that was something that we really pointed out. And I think where this particular site is being developed, it's an empty parking lot, probably 95, 99% of the time. There's not a lot of people that use that side. So I think this land acquisition and what's going on here will really help support this center and really kind of clean up the whole side as a whole, to say the least.
Just as an aside, what happened to the gazebo?
The gazebo actually was put there. It was on state property, put there by some organization. Nobody really took care of it, and then what ended up happening, it just started to rot. About 2 years ago, we had Highway go take a look at it, see if we could salvage it in any way, and but the wood had been so rotted, there was no way we could move it, that it was going to collapse. So eventually, the state came in and they had to get rid of it.
Good, thank you. Any questions from board members? Is there a resolution?
I'll
Mr.
make a motion to
Supervisor,
close.
Yes,
before you close, Linda Miller made a comment from the Selden Civic that they welcome them with open arms in Selden.
I see that. Thank you very much.
All right. Sorry, Mr. Laval.
That's okay. That's okay. Linda's the president of the Civic. I don't mind her chiming in anytime. But I'll make a motion to close.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Second?
I already have it. All those
Okay.
in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion to close carries.
I will make a motion for the secret negative declaration granting the application of Westfield Center for a change of zone from A Residence 1 and J Business 2 to J Business 2 on property located on Middle Country Road in Selden, New York. So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then I'll make the motion of approval, granting the application of Westfield Center for a change of zone from A Residence 1 and J Business 2 to J Business 2 on property located on Middle Country Road in Selden, New York. So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we're on to public hearing number 3.
Public hearing number 3 is to consider the application known as 43 Jane LLC for a change of zone from J Business 2 and B Residence 1 to J Business 4 on property located in Port Jefferson Station, New York. Legal notices for public hearings are published no less than 10 days and no more than 20 days prior to a public hearing in one of the legal town newspapers. My office has received a signed affidavit of publication from the newspaper. A secret negative determination will be submitted by the law department via resolution if applicable. And I am in receipt of a letter from the Suffolk County Planning Commission determining it to be a matter of local determination. I am in receipt of a letter from the Port Jefferson Station Cherryville Civic Association stating no objection to this application with comments. And the applicant was required to post the property as well as notify all property owners within the 500-foot radius of the subject property. And my office is in receipt of the affidavits of mailing and posting. A letter from the Suffolk County Planning is dated July 15th, 2020. And I'm not sure why, but this is directed to Mr. Albano instead of me, but pursuant to the requirements of sections A14-14 to A14-25, the Suffolk County Administrative Code, the above referenced application, which has been submitted to the Suffolk County Planning Commission, is considered to be a matter for local determination, as there is no significant, apparent significant countywide or intercommunity impact. A decision of local determination should not be construed as either an approval or disapproval. Signed very truly yours, Andrew P. Freeling, Chief Planner.
Okay. Any questions from the board at this point? If not, I'll turn it over to the planning commissioner.
The site is located along the west side of Jane Boulevard, north of New York State Route 347 and Port Jefferson Station. The subject parcel is 2.3 acres and is currently occupied with an existing 2,179 square foot structure. Land use is unknown with no real on-site improvements. The subject site is currently split zone J Business 2 and B Residence 1. The applicant seeks a change of zone to J Business 4. The concept plan shows a new 31,342 square foot, 2-story office building with associated site improvements. Variances may be required at the time of site plan review. The 1996 comprehensive plan designates the site for commercial land use.
Okay, thank you. Is the applicant, I believe Mr. Shea is representing the applicant?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor.
Mr. Shea, do you have anything you want to add?
No, we did meet with the Civic Association. We were at an outdoor meeting, and I know that Ms. Cartwright's staff was there. And I want to thank Ms. Cartwright and her staff for being very cooperative and open with us on this application. We have reviewed the proposed conditions of approval and are in agreement with the same. And we hope that the board will grant the application. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Any questions from board members?
No, I do have a request of our planning commissioner. If she can please just read the covenant related to the western property line and the buffer.
Or I just have to stop sharing my screen so I can get it for you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Beth, do you want me to read it?
I got it.
Okay.
Okay, the applicant owner shall provide a 30-foot natural and undisturbed buffer along the westerly property line. The land bank parking stalls shall remain in a natural and undisturbed state until such time as the site is open and operational, and the applicant owner demonstrates to the satisfaction of the planning board the need to construct the land bank stalls. In the event the land bank stalls are constructed, an evergreen screen planting shall be installed along the buffer to at least the town standards and to the satisfaction of the planning board.
Okay.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that Mr. Shea is aware of that and there's no objection to that.
We have no objection.
Thank you. Okay, I have no other comments or questions.
Great. If there's no other comments and questions, Councilwoman Cartwright, do you have a motion that you'd like? to
Yes,
present?
I move to close this public hearing.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Secret negative declaration granting the application of 43 Jane LLC for a change of zone from J Business 2 and B Residence 1 to J Business 4 on property located at Jane Boulevard in Port Jefferson Station, New York. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next is a resolution of adoption granting the application of 43 Jane LLC for a change of zone from J Business 2 and B Residence 1 to J Business 4 on property located on Jane Boulevard in Port Jefferson Station, New York. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, we are on to public hearing number 4.
Public hearing number 4 is to consider the application known as M&R Stony Brook Inc. for amendment of the restrictive covenants on property located in Port Jefferson Station, New York. Legal notices for public hearings are published no less than 10 days and no more than 20 days in one of the legal town newspapers. My office has received the signed affidavit of publication from the newspaper. A secret negative determination will be submitted by the law department via resolution if applicable. And I am in receipt of a letter from the Port Jefferson Station Terryville Civic Association stating no objection to this application. The applicant was also required to post the property as well as notify all property owners within a 500-foot radius of the subject property, and my office is in receipt of those affidavits of mailing and posting.
Okay. Our planning commission, want to explain briefly what this involves?
The site is located along the west side of New York State Route 112, north of Birchwood Drive in Port Jefferson Station. The parcel is a total of 21.316 acres and is currently occupied with an existing office complex with associated site improvements. The site enjoyed several certificates of occupancy that were issued as early as 2008. The subject site is currently zoned J Business 4 and was the subject of a change of zone application in 2005, which was approved by the town board and subsequently amended in 2006. The applicant proposes to amend the grant in order to permit the expansion of the office use by 24,075 square feet. The applicant also proposes to modify covenants 10, 14, and 15 to reflect current on-site conditions and for clarification. The proposed concept plan shows a new 20,485 square foot medical office building and the addition of a 10,000 square foot second story to one of the existing medical buildings on site. The proposal is to amend covenant number 2 from a maximum 141,400 square feet of office space to a maximum of 165,475 square feet of office space. Amendment of covenant number 10 is for clarification on parking. Covenant number 14 is for clarification and timing of elimination of the access point on Route 112. And covenant number 15 is for clarification of existing front yard buffers.
Okay. Thank you very much. And who is the applicant represented by?
Jim Shea is here for the applicant and
Okay.
Julia Viola is also here. I'm going to let her take the hearing. She should be on the list.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
And who is Julia from your firm?
Julia is, yes, Julia is from my firm.
An attorney with your firm.
Correct. Julia, are you there?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Julia, do you have anything to add to what the commissioner presented?
The applicant, as Ms. Riley pointed out, the applicant is before this board tonight with the application to amend restrictive covenants numbers 2, 10, 14, and 15. The total existing and previously approved gross floor area is 141,400 square feet. And the applicant is proposing to construct a 20,485.20 square foot building 7 and add 10,000 square feet to the previously approved building 1 on the second floor. And in accordance with the floor plan, the total building area on the site will be now 165,475 square feet. As a result of the subject application submitted to the town clerk, the proposed development necessitated the amendment of the covenants in the form it was submitted to the town. And thus we respectively request your favorable consideration of our application to amend the restrictive covenant.
Thank you. Questions from board members?
I have no questions.
No questions. We'll go, Councilwoman Cartwright, would you like to offer?
Do we have anyone for comments on this?
No.
Okay, excellent. Resolution, secret negative declaration.
Now we need a motion to close.
Oh, sorry, I moved to close this public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion to close carries.
Secret negative declaration granting the application of M&R Stony Brook Incorporated for an amendment of restrictive covenants on property located on New York State Route 112 in Port Jefferson Station, New York. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next, we have a resolution of adoption granting the application of M&R Stony Brook Incorporated for an amendment of restrictive covenants on property located at New York State Route 112 in Port Jefferson Station, New York. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. We will move on to public hearing number 5, which is, I believe, the last public hearing of the night.
Public hearing number 5 is the determination of the premises located at 12 Edward Street, Center Reach, New York, to be unsafe as defined by Chapter 73 pursuant to the engineer's report of Cashin, Spinelli, and Ferretti LLC. The owner or other persons having an interest in the premises may be heard with respect to the condition of the premises and the actions necessary to secure or remove same. Legal notices for public hearings are published no less than 10 days and no more than 20 days prior to a public hearing in one of the legal town newspapers. My office has received a signed affidavit of publication from the newspaper, and should the board render a decision, this has been deemed a secret type 2 action.
Okay. We have Brendan Sweeney to explain this to us. Brendan?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor and members of the board. So today's hearing is for a 12 Everett Street in Center Reach, New York, 11720. The owner listed in the town's portal system is Advance Home LLC. They've owned it since April 4th of 2019. They do have a mortgage through HOF 1 Grantor Trust 5E since December 13th of 2019. Taxes are unpaid both for them and the previous owner since the 2018-2019 tax bill, which enables the county to take for back taxes after December 12th, 2022. However, the county did note to me that they are so behind on processing tax payments right now that it is possible that they have paid. It just hasn't been logged in their system at this time.
Really, that far behind?
Yes, they said if any payment was received in June, they've processed the payment, but they haven't entered it into their log for as of a couple of days ago.
Well, for people needing money, you would think they would process it much quicker.
Well, they do cash it. They just don't enter it into their log. So it has been cashed. In terms of the vacant registry, it's not on our vacant registry. Asbestos is present. Cash and Spinelli and Ferretti initially conducted an inspection on June 27th of 2018. However, to make sure that the property hasn't had condition changes, I did have Inspector Incogliato check it out on September the 16th of 2020, so yesterday. He noted no conditions had changed. You'll see his pictures later on to show such. But we've boarded and secured this property twice, once on April of 2015, and we reboarded it again July of 2020. We sent to 3 locations. We sent it to Advance Home in Hollis, New York. We sent it to the mortgage entity, which is based out of St. Paul, Minnesota. And we sent to a Brian Goldberg based in Glendale, New York. In terms of correspondence, as Councilman Laval will note, I have been in correspondence with Sharon O'Brien, who's been hired to assist with the obtaining of a permit for the rehabbing of this home. I spoke to her on September 15th and advised her to get as much paperwork as she could of what they're looking to do. Any kind of situations of why it got to this situation, and we'll do what we can to either get a permit if they can get it in time, or if they're unable to, we can come up with something else. I did send to Councilman Laval's office late that night a letter that they had submitted to me showcasing the hardship that they said that the owner for this property had. In terms of the property, it's a subject building is 32 by 64 foot wood frame single story residential structure with the basement resting on concrete block foundation. It's clad with asbestos shingle, wood shingle, and vinyl siding, and an asphalt shingle roof, and is in extremely poor condition. Siding and fascia are broken, missing, and deteriorating. A portion of the exterior wall at the rear has rotted through and is open to the interior. The roof edge is damaged in several areas. Gutters are damaged, hanging, missing, or full of vegetation. The property is not maintained and is overgrown. Fencing is broken and missing. And as you just previously saw, there was a dilapidated wood shed located in the rear of the property that is full of trash. The interior has trash, construction debris, household items strewn throughout. Large amounts of animals that the engineer suspected was raccoon feces are present. Damage to the roof structure due to prolonged exposure to moisture is observed in several locations, and suspect mold was also located. The building is boarded up using plexiglass on the windows, but it's not secure. The site is not secure, constituting a public safety hazard. In terms of the report that I said that Senior Inspector Incogliato noted, on the 16th, he noted that conditions have remained the same since the 2018 cash-in report. In terms of violations, we have from the 2015 International Property Maintenance Code, Chapter 1, Sections 101 and 108. We have from Chapter 3, Sections 301, 302, and 304. From the 2015 International Fire Code, we have Chapter 3, Sections 301 and 311. From the Code of the Town of Brookhaven, we have violations of Chapters 49 and 73. Pursuant to the above definitions, the building is considered unsafe, lacks maintenance, and is in an advanced state of disrepair, unsanitary, and unfit for human occupancy. Due to its extremely poor condition and rapid deterioration, the engineers believe this site poses a threat to the health, safety, and general welfare of the public. Based on prior mentioned inspections, the owner has not corrected existing defects, nor made required repairs to the structure. Due to dilapidated and unsafe condition of the building, the rate of deterioration from lack of maintenance, and numerous violations of state and town codes, it's recommended that the structure be demolished.
Okay. Is there anyone to speak on behalf of the house?
Yes, the architect is here and the monitors are letting him in right now.
Mr. Gleason?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Can
How are
everybody,
you doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about this house.
Before he does that, I'd like to swear him in,
Yeah.
please.
Sure.
So if you would please raise your right hand, Mr. Gleason. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do, okay. And I'm going to, are we giving him 5 minutes or?
Yes.
Yes, we are. So I'm going to start your clock. I'll let you know when your 5 minutes is done.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I was hired on Friday by the owner of this property, Mr. Bisham Mohabir, and he is the president owner of Advanced Home LLC, and they are located in Hollis, New York. During the pandemic and COVID, he's been diagnosed with an illness, and that's prevented him, at least since March, from doing any work to the house. I know that with the slides and the detailed report by the attorney's office and the inspections from the engineering company and the building inspectors, that the house is in awful shape. I get that. And we've been in touch. We've gotten a survey completed as of yesterday by Truman's Layouts, located in Selden. We need the survey in order to file any kind of paperwork, possible variance, etc., that will be required. We're asking the board to grant a 30-day extension, and so that we can have proof that we will file proper paperwork and show good faith that we are trying to, resolve this problem that's been there for many years. Obviously, I mean, I wouldn't, if this house was next to me in my town, St. James, I wouldn't be too happy either. I understand totally why these codes are obviously in effect for. Abatement will have to occur with the asbestos, such forth, and most of the house will probably definitely have to be rebuilt to conform to the building code and make it habitable. And that will be shown on plans that will be submitted to the building department.
Oh, very good, sir.
Well, I take any questions
Yes.
that you may have.
Not a question, but the way this town works
Yeah.
is tonight, if I haven't missed my guess, Councilman Laval will make a motion to demo this house.
Okay.
That will be approved.
Right.
That gives you 30 days before we do anything. In
Okay.
those 30 days, if you come in with a building permit, and if you show any, we don't want to tear down houses. We prefer to see them rebuilt and restored. If you're showing any desire to do that, we hold off all action as long as it's sincere and moving forward. There have been people that have taken a building permit and done nothing. So I took out my building permit.
Yes.
No, that doesn't work. So we're looking for this house to either be demoed and then the lot could be sold and a new house built, or have someone come in and fix it up. I'm looking at the reports and stuff, so whoever's going to do that has a challenge. But I'm going to turn it over to Councilman Laval, unless you have any questions about our process.
No, Mr. Supervisor, I fully understand what was explained to me by you.
Right.
Clearly,
So
yes.
30 days, we don't do anything after that. If you've done a building permit or you're showing that you were making improvements or whatever, you're going to demolish and rebuild or whatever it is, we prefer that. And we will not take any action as long as it's a sincere effort to clean this up. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Gleason, please stay in contact with Brendan Sweeney in my office. We'll
Yes.
work with you. Obviously, right now, the real estate market's very good. It's a seller's market, so I'm sure your client would want to get this house fixed up, get it out on the market, and I'm sure every neighbor in that neighborhood would want to see that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So
I agree totally, Councilman.
Please
Sure.
keep in touch with us. We just want to see this moving along. I know the supervisor, the rest of the board, we represent our constituents, and this has been a big problem. So it's one of those things, we want to keep these things moving along as best we can. So please stay in contact with us and we'll work with you as best we can.
Okay, absolutely understood.
Okay, I'll make a motion to close.
I'll second.
Donna? Donna, you're on mute.
Uh-oh.
I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me. I was just saying, whether, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I heard you opposed.
I'll make
Motion carries.
a motion to approve resolution of adoption determining the premises at 12 Everett Street, Center East, New York, to be unsafe as defined by Chapter 73 pursuant to the engineer's report of Cash and Spinelli and Ferretti LLC. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, that concludes our public hearings. And before we adjourn,
Excuse me.
on a very sad note, and I know this whole board joins with me, we want to express our sympathy to the family of legislator Thomas Moratori, who did a fabulous job representing us. I had the pleasure to serve with him in the county legislature. He will be missed. He passed away last week. He was a gentleman, always kind, always considerate, always caring for his constituents, always trying to improve the area he represented. He will be missed by many people, and I just want to make that note. And I know that all of you share with me our sympathies to the Muratori family on the loss of Tom. So with that, the meeting business is over, but I did not want to end without mentioning our sadness over Tom and his service to this town and to the county of Suffolk. But I will entertain a motion to adjourn at this moment.
I'll
So
make
moved.
that second.
Sorry, I didn't know who moved that. I didn't see.
That was me, Donna.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We stand.
Thank you all. We'll see you
Thank you.
very shortly. I see you every day. I know you guys are working hard. I appreciate all that each one of you do, including our town clerk.